Hello, Abnormal Investigations. Hope everybody out there is doing all right. I am doing great, and I've had a blessed morning already. I would like to start this off by saying thank you to everyone out there that is doing what they have done for me. You know who you are, and someday I will thank you by name. But right now, I just want to say thank you so very much. God bless you. You guys are awesome. Don't forget, guys, this Saturday night we're going back on a Boots on the Ground. It's going to be at 8:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. We are having some great people turn out. Almost 4,000 views within 3 hours of our videos. It is really launching everything really high for this channel. We're growing fast right now, guys. And I will say, Abnormal Investigations is back. We're up and coming, and we're now a formidable name. Let's get into this encounter. I was sitting comfortably in my chair the other night, engrossed in my TV show, when I heard the strange noise coming from the garage. At first, I thought nothing of it. But then I realized I hadn't closed the garage door. My heart began to race as I wondered if someone or something was lurking inside. I was thinking somebody or an animal, honestly. I got up cautiously and made my way to the garage. My senses of high alert, I slowly opened the door and looked around, but to my surprise I saw nothing out of the ordinary. No signs of intruders, no unusual shadows, just a familiar sight of my car, storage boxes, and my large box freezer that I have in my garage. Feeling a mix of release and embarrassment, I chuckled to myself and I thought, guess I'm just a little jumpy tonight. I went back to my chair, settled in, and continued watching TV, grateful that it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. As I sat back down and tried to focus on my show, my gaze kept drifting back to the window. My TV sits right in front of the window. That's when I saw it. A flash of a white something moving past the window. My heart skipped a beat as I wondered if what I was seeing was someone outside walking by or even watching me through the window. That is one of my fears, Mike, is somebody looking back in a window at me. I froze, my eyes fixed on the window, waiting to see if I could catch another glimpse of the mysterious figure. But there was nothing, just the unusual darkness of the night outside. I tried to shake off the feeling of unease, telling myself it was just a stray animal or a trick of the light. But the image of the fleeting white shape lingered in my mind, leaving me with a sense of unease that I couldn't shake off. Then I heard the freezer door in the garage shut. I ran, grabbed my gun, and looked in the garage, and of course, there was nothing there again. My heart was racing now, my senses of high alert. I was trying to convince myself that it was just the wind or my imagination. But then I heard the unmistakable sound of the freezer door in the garage shutting. It was a loud, deliberate sound that actually caused me to jump. Without hesitation, I grabbed my gun and cautiously made my way back to the garage. I slowly opened the door, my gun at the ready, and scanned the area, but there was nothing. No sign of anyone, no sign of anything, even out of place. The freezer door was shut, just like I had heard. I stood there for a moment, trying to process what was happening. Was I losing my mind? Was someone playing a prank on me? I slowly lowered my gun, feeling a mix of release and confusion. But the question lingered in my mind. What was that noise? And who or what was behind it or making it? The next day I went to make my deer steaks, and they was gone. Something stole my deer steaks. I tried to shake off the strange feeling from the night before, thinking maybe I'd just been spooked. But the next day, I was in for another surprise. I went to the freezer to grab more deer steaks to thaw out for even that day, which I had been looking forward to cooking. And I noticed they were also gone. I couldn't believe it. I had specifically set those aside to make for a special meal, and now they were nowhere to be found. I searched the freezer, thinking maybe I had misplaced them, but they were nowhere to be seen. It was as if someone had come into my garage, opened the freezer, and just taken my meat. The strange events from the night before came flooding back, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that something strange was going on. Had someone been in the garage watching me? And why would they take my deer steaks? The next night I was ready this time. I had my pistol and my shoes on, my pistol at the ready, and that's when I heard it again. I ran to the garage, and that's when I seen it. Skinny looking man with long, stringy hair. I could actually see his white, very white, pale scalp through his stringy hair. He was very pale. His arms appeared to be longer than they should be. I was on high alert, waiting for whatever it was to make a move on me or what it may do next. And then I heard it. It dropped my freezer door. It had my damn freezer door opened again. I sprang into action. I pointed the pistol at it. It stared at me. Skinny, pale-looking man. His arms longer than what they should have been. His hair greasy, wet-looking, swinging back and forth as he is down, not on his knees, but hunkered down with his hands in front of him, his fingers spread on the garage door like a large frog. And he stared at me. The steaks were laying beside him in the package, opened, half-eaten raw. I trained my pistol on him, my hand shaking slightly as I tried to process what I was seeing. Should I fire or not fire? My mind was telling me I was in the right, he was inside of my home. But could I live with this decision, because I could clearly see that this, I'm going to call him a man, but I'm not going to say complete man, was unarmed. He didn't seem to notice me at first, too focused on his task, but then he looked up and our eyes met. I froze, unsure what to do next. He didn't seem threatening, but God, he was scary looking. There was something unsettling about him, something that made my skin crawl. But then things took an even weirder turn. The pale, skinny man turned and ran, but not like a normal person would. He used his long, spindly arms to propel himself forward, almost like a quadruped would. His legs seemed to be moving, but it was his arms that were doing the work, carrying him across the garage with an unnatural gait. Very fast, very coordinated. I was shocked and confused, unsure what to do. I had my pistol trained on him. I almost fired, but I didn't. I was so stunned by what I was seeing as he ran past the garage door and into the night, disappearing into the darkness with his pale, glowy skin. I stood there, frozen in place, trying to process what the hell I had just seen. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before. The image of him running on all fours, using his arms to propel himself forward, was seared into my brain. I knew I had to try and make sense of it, but for now I stood there, trying to catch my breath and calm my racing heart. I've since placed a lock on my garage door, and I now shut it and lock it. I haven't had any more encounters lately, and I'm hoping that's took care of the problem. I've took his ease of food away from him. But I will keep you informed if anything else happens. Thank you for sharing my story. Wow. Yeah, that's a crazy story. It sounds to me like a possible feral person found an easy way to gain access to some easy meat, and I think he was using it for his advantage. A lot of these things, guys, cryptids, feral people that live like that, they're opportunists. What do you guys think happened? Until next time, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner, and don't forget to join us Saturday night, 8:45 Central Standard Time, for another Boots on the Ground Abnormal Style.